The Korean diaspora is considered to be one of the largest diasporas in our country since the 19th century, when Koreans were forced to leave their close country and to resettle to Kazakhstan and few similar regions. So today we're going to explore their culture, traditions, and cuisine as deeply as we can. My name is Alevtina Madyarova. Good afternoon. Koreans could preserve and even enrich their traditions while living in Kazakhstan for years. Moreover, today we'll become acquainted with all the ins and outs of playing ethnical musical instruments. We'll try on some Korean traditional clothing, and of course, we'll cook probably the most popular Korean dishes. From ancient times, drums are used in many rituals, ceremonial, and sacral purposes in various cultures. People use them to call the rain, to gather a crowd, to encourage a warrior to perform feats. Shamans usually did such things. Interestingly, according to Korean traditions, fragile girls deal with that heavy and big drums. Despite the modern dance mainstream, Korean people don't forget about their traditional choreography, and drums are an integral part of dancing. These drums are ancient versions of them. Rains were called, evil spirits were expelled with the help of this kind. Today, modern versions of drums is used for dancing. And in spite of the rule, the newer, the smaller, this one is much larger than all the previous ones. Korean dances should hold a story inside. Drums are not the exception. This performance is telling about the drums, which became a temptation for the Korean monk. He was finally falling for his weakness. It may take years to learn this art. Start from the right drum with a right hand. Yes. Well, not bad for the first time. How long did it take for you to learn that? Well, I dance in Nam Sone right from the beginning, about 10 years. If you're talking about Korean choreographic art, it will be wrong not to mention fan dance. It is called Buchai Chum in Korea. This dance is considered to be one of the most beautiful dances in the world. In proper hands, fans can turn into huge butterflies, gorgeous flowers, and other beautiful things. I want it too. Enough. I cannot wait any longer. It looks so beautiful. Help me to learn how to do it. I have fans and a skirt too. Now I'll have been taught a hidden mystery. I don't know if I can, but learning to dance at least something from Korean dance, it seems to me like my life divided into before and after. Although it looks quite easy, it is a challenge to learn this dance. Only concentration and a right way of breathing can help you to smooth all your movements. How are you doing that, girls? With such ease and grace. It seems to me that you were born with a fan in your hands. Well, it was so. Probably all Korean girls got some talents in their blood. There are among those talents cooking Korean cuisine. I hope dancing with fans and beating the drums. Korean dancers often use original music. Musicians may compose music all over the night, mixing traditional melodies with modern ones. Also, there are some melodies which were handed down from generation to generation. Samul Nori is a prime example of it. Samul Nori is a genre of traditional Korean percussion music. Samul Nori means playing four objects. Each one it stands for a different weather condition. The Janggu represents rain. The Gwari, thunder. The Jing, the sounds of the wind. And the Buk, clouds. This genre was formed by Kim Duk-soo in 1978. It is based on ancient Nong-ak music, which had been playing on rustic holidays. Kayagum is another interesting musical instrument. This is a zither-like string instrument with 12 strings, which is an integral part of Korean culture. Learning how to play on the kayagum is not an easy thing for Kazakhstani Koreans. It requires a perfect sense of rhythm and perseverance. Generally, to play on kayagum, you need to use an ear for music. Because one string may sound differently, one note higher or lower, depends on the pressure of your left hand. The right hand is for playing. Svetlana Kim is engaging in music since the 90s. She fell in love with the sounds of kayagum at the first glance, and she decided to learn playing on kayagum and to teach the younger generation. I was given a great chance in 1998 to go to Seoul National Theatre, where I've been learning kayagum for 3 months. Also, I learned the Samul Nori and Tonda dance. Look at the musicians' costumes. This traditional clothing is called hanbok. It is considered as the face of the nation, because by wearing hanbok, Koreans show their unity in their culture. First of all, it is quite comfortable to wear. It is wide, and it's not important what body you have. In addition, it is fascinating because of its neat needlework, ideal stitches, elegant embroidery. What is more, a men's suit is also sewn perfectly. Hanbok construction is quite simple, and it is appropriate to any type of body. The main thing is that the clothing is very practical, and it is adapted to living in traditional Korean house, where sitting on the floor is a common thing. Hanbok consists of a shirt, jeogori, which women wear with a dress, chima, and men with pants, baji. The third part is gorium. The bow in which gorium is tied to is not a common bow that we know. It is one-sided, and its only side should be pointed to the heart. The most used fabric for hanbok is cotton, because ancient poor peasants could afford only cotton-made clothing. However, the nobility loved to wear silk. The great attention was paid to the color of clothes. It was considered that only rich people can wear colorful hanboks. Yellow is for the emperor, red for the king, purple, dark blue, and green for officials, depending on their ranks. Poor people were allowed to wear only pale-colored hanboks. Clothes differs according to the purposes for everyday life, ceremonial, and for special occasions. Ceremonial ones should be worn only on holidays, for example, at weddings. Previous dresses may be confusing somehow, but everything is quite clear with this one. It is a traditional wedding dress. Trying on this one, I want to ask some questions. At first, is a bride allowed to eat at the wedding? And second, did Koreans write a story about the frog princess who released swans from her sleeves? Korean weddings consist of two parts, a small one and a big one. The first is held in a bride's house and the second in a groom's house. The wedding ceremony itself is quite similar to usual ones. However, there are some ethnical attributes. The holiday begins with a glass of wine which is offered by newlyweds to their parents, uncles and aunts, and elder brothers and sisters. Relatives should congratulate a groom and a bride. A boiled chicken should be present among the dishes. It has to be braided with green and red thread. It symbolizes spouses' long and happy life. There's a red pepper in a bird's beak. It symbolizes eternal love. There are two other holidays which are kept by Koreans. First year from the birth of a child, Asyandi and Handabi, the 16th birthday. All of them are connected to each other. If parents didn't celebrate the child's Asyandi, they cannot celebrate the wedding of their child, and the child won't be allowed to celebrate Hangabi. The greatness of these holidays is quite impressive. Asyandi consists of two parts. At first, parents set the table for the child, Doljabi, which should be held before midday. Consider that good spirits are more active until noon, so all the good wishes are more likely to come true. On the table are cups with beans and rice, a pen, a notebook, a book, scissors, threads, a calculator or an abacus, money, also a needle for a girl and a dagger for a boy. The child has to choose a few things which will determine the child's destiny. Another part of the holiday is the feast for all relatives and friends where everybody is having fun. The 16th birthday is one of the most important ceremonies for Korean people. According to old customs, birthday celebrators' children should celebrate the anniversary. They bear all the expenses. It is their duty, and the failure is a shame, which will be brought on them till the 7th generation. Seemingly to every culture, these holidays are rich for a fine ethnical cuisine. What do we know about Korean cuisine? Kade, kuksi, pigodi, kimchi. However, Korean cuisine is much more various than it seems. Moreover, it would be nice to learn to cook even the most common dishes. The main feature of Korean cuisine is the spicy food, and it's easy to explain. Because boiled rice is dominating and it is quite flavorless, inventive Koreans found flavorings which are rich for paprika. Since the climate of South Korea isn't adapted for food keeping, Koreans got used to preserve food using a huge amount of spices. Well, it is the most enjoyable side of exploring the culture, exploring through cuisine. Today we're exploring Korean cuisine, and of course we need some help. Meet Olga, a pretty girl with a beautiful smile. So what are we going to prepare today? Today we are going to prepare kuksu. It is a traditional Korean dish. Speaking a local Korean dialect, we are going to prepare kuksi, i.e. our well-known kuksi, so now not only will we know its taste, but its inner secrets. There are many different kuksi recipes. Each housewife has her own one. This noodle soup is usually served as a hot dish in winter and as a cold dish in summer. This meal has taken its place on the tables of Koreans since the 12th century, because noodles are considered to be a symbol of happiness and longevity. Let's divide the process to 3 parts. We're going to prepare the main dish. It is the noodles. I.e. kuksi means noodles. Yes, and its additional ingredients. The second main ingredient is the broth, and the third, our base, veggies and meat. Okay, we can start. Today we have beef. However, you can use anything you want, chicken or pork. Meat should be cut into thin strips and roasted for 2 minutes with oil, salt, black pepper, garlic and soy sauce. Also, you can add onions if you want. Our vegetable filling consists of cucumbers, cabbage, and radish. Dry coriander, black pepper, sugar, vinegar, garlic, and salt are usually added to cut vegetables. So we are learning the fundamentals and I hope secrets of kuksi. The meat is roasted, vegetables are cut, and the water is boiling. Is it for the noodles? Yes, it is for the noodles. For one bowl, we need about 100 grams of noodles. Olya, should we use only wheat noodles? No, we may use different types. It could be barley noodles or buckwheat noodles. I.e., we can use any type of noodles. After the noodles are prepared, they should be washed in cold water. Otherwise, they will stick together. Ingredients for kuksi may differ in different regions of Korea. It depends on what a region is rich for. For example, in Seoul, they add seafood instead of meat. We have seasonal vegetables. Cucumbers, tomatoes as usual. Cabbage, it is what we need. Radish, as it contains vitamins. What do we add else? Also, we are going to cook an omelette. To prepare the omelette, you should beat the eggs with the addition of a small amount of oil. We add some oil because we don't need eggs sticking to a pan. And now the basis. As people say, the main body of the soup is a broth. So we'll have the soup base. It means that we don't use the broth in which the meat was boiled. No, it is just water with spices. Here are some tricks. I think I should pay attention. The soup base is called kuksi muri. It is easy to cook. We just need to mix soy sauce, sugar, salt, and vinegar. Let's remember all the ingredients of the most beloved and festive dish, which is also a symbol of longevity and long-time family life. Kuksi, roasted meat, omelets, vegetable filling, i.e. radish, cabbage, cucumbers, and cut tomatoes. And the most important thing is kuksi muri. We just need to combine all the ingredients into one dish. We take our noodles and slowly add other ingredients. We don't just put them. Yes, we put them around. Because we need a colorful dish. And each of the 5 colors has to be seen. It is quite impressive already. We fill everything with water. Korean traditional table setting is another story. It includes large amounts of plates, cups which number and order had to be set hundreds of years ago. The amount of served dishes depends on the occasion. The richer the table is, the more special is the occasion. Well, if there are 12 Korean dishes, it means you came to the emperor's feast. Maybe it's not quite decent to give compliments to yourself. However, I think we did it perfectly. Usual Korean lunch consists of rice, soup, and a couple of appetizers, among which you can always find kimchi. So from left to right, there is rice, soup, spoon, and chopsticks. Stews and salads are generally eaten from common dishes, so they're placed in the center of the table. Koreans believe that such a setting is connecting people. Kazakhstani Korean diaspora is turning 80 years old in 2017. Customs, rituals, cults, and festivals, at least another 80 ethnicities are coming in the future episodes of our program.